Hey, everybody. It's another episode of State of the Art with Chris Beaudry here on 95.3 FM and 1400 AM WILI. Good company. And I wish Matt and Anthony behind the board. Hi, guys. How we doing, by the way?
They got a program.
We're doing good.
I love catching these guys off guard, and they got to quick push a couple buttons and say hello. Hi, Anthony. How are you?
Buttons, doing all right. Doing all right.
Yeah, good. Well, guys, I think we need to petition the station to have the ability to open these windows in the recording studio here because it's so gorgeous outside today. And I hope you're enjoying it, folks out there. This is that island of warmth in the middle. It looks like it's going to get cold again for a few weeks, but spring is right around the corner, and it's a beautiful, 72 degrees out there. Are you going to open the door there, David Bellis, to Crane's Wings Martial Arts?
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, let some fresh air into the dojo. So I guess you've already figured out who my guest is today. We have, are you Dr. Bellis?
Yeah, Dr. Bellis, but that's a former life, now Sensei Dave.
Right, Sensei Dave now, but Dr. David Bellis, Sensei Dave, as he's familiarly known on Main Street. He is the owner and proprietor and master instructor at Crane's Wings Martial Arts here on Main Street in Willimantic. What is the precise address of Crane's Wings? You have it on your card.
752 Main Street.
752 Main Street. Are you a year old yet with Crane's Wings?
Yeah, just over a year. I had
a year.
a couple students in the studying before we had an official opening. So
I see.
That was interesting.
So when was your official ribbon cutting day for the studio?
I would say, because it wasn't really official, but March 31st.
March 31st, 2025. All right.
Yep.
So a couple weeks older than the River Room, but we're both approaching a one-year birthday, and congratulations to you because the first year in business is by far the absolute hardest hurdle to cross, right? And, we actually recently, well, maybe not too recently, but Twins Pizza over in North Windham just celebrated their 1 year. And, it's just a testament to the dedication, perseverance, persistence, commitment. I mean, the first year in business is a slog, and it is not for the faint of heart. Can you attest to that?
Yes, I can. Indeed. We put everything out there we can on social media, tagging and handing cards out to kids, and then you sit there and wait for people to walk in the door and time to kick some stuff. So, but once they come in.
But your studio, I mean, there are a lot of karate studios in the area. I mean, you have your Valaris Martial Arts, your 360 Martial Arts, your there's boxing clubs, there's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I know that's popular around here. What sets your Shaolin Kempo karate? Right?
Correct.
So aside from the style of martial arts, what are if you had to, in a 30-second elevator pitch, what are the superlatives or what sets you apart from all of the different studios? I think small class sizes might be one of the things. Your one-on-one attention is much more focused on the individual. But what else, in your own words, David?
Absolutely. I was just actually thinking about this the other day, and indeed, small class sizes allow a huge amount of one-on-one attention from the sensei, rather than having a lot of assistant instructors who may not have as much experience. So that's one of the things I'm pretty proud of that we can offer. The other thing that, we all build confidence, self-control, respect, and all of those things. But, one of the things that sets us apart, we start kids as early as 4 years old on that journey. And of course, teaching a 4-year-old is much different than a 94-year-old. But we have, students from 4 and up. I would say that that's something that really sets us apart. The size of the dojo, again, allows us one-on-one attention. And, tuition is really family-friendly, and I think it caters to a demographic that's, in need of an activity like karate.
Yeah, so. And I see the breadth and the scope of the different demographics that frequent your studio. Everything from 4-year-old kids to I attended a test. I believe it was a white belt transitioning to yellow belt test. Right?
Correct.
Were there any higher belts, purple belts, maybe? Or?
Oh yeah.
So there was a multi-level test, right?
Yeah.
But college students, young adults, young professionals, all the way up to retired individuals in that one group, and they were all working together.
Yeah.
I know probably a big word for being able to approach different demographics with your studio is modifications. Do you use modifications in your training?
Absolutely, and thank you for bringing that up. One of the big conversations in the martial arts community is, oh, if they can't do this, then they should have, no reason practicing that. It's like, look, martial arts, again, it's self-control, self-discipline, focus. So if a person can't jump 17 feet high and do, 2 front ball kicks, well, then modify that.
Right.
It's still a martial art, and with a stress on the word art. Much like, I don't know if I can make an analogy to dance.
Sure.
The ballet dancer who has had a huge career and might find themselves equally flexible at 70, but capable of a very different thing. You're going to choreograph it in an appropriate manner. The curriculum is the same. White belts learn the same thing as yellow belts learn the same thing. But you talk about modification, a 4, 5, 6-year-old white belt, you're going to expect very different outcome than, the college student or an older. So.
Yeah. So your class schedule on a weekly rotating basis. Take us through, you don't have to go through the granular every day,
Sure.
every class, but what classes, like levels, what are the titles of the classes? What are you offering to the public? And then before you go into that, I want to announce your website multiple times throughout the broadcast today, craneswingsmartialarts.com. You can email Dr. Bellis Sensei Dave, as he's now known, at Cranes Wing. Is that Cranes Wing?
Cranes Wing?
Cranes Wing. I pluralize it. I'm sorry. It's not.
That's
It's
okay.
craneswingmartialarts.com and craneswingmartialarts@gmail.com. So talk about the classes you offer.
I was actually just looking up quickly the exact schedule, but that doesn't matter. We're open. We have classes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, as well as Saturdays. Let me retract. I do have 2 morning classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that caters to the college kids.
5 days a week you're open?
5 days a week,
cool.
yeah. And so we try to offer 3 options for each age division, so they can choose 1 or 2. So it really does a lot to accommodate various schedules. The youngest kids, the tiny tigers. They are usually earlier in the day because their class schedule, they get out, from preschool and whatnot earlier. And then after we have first and second graders, and then we have 3rd through 5th graders, and then the rest is, high school and above. So.
Where did you draw your initial student body from? Just blanket
that's a
marketing,
great
or did
question.
you have a network? Like, were you part of a dojo before this? I mean, like, what's your origin story? I guess I'm looking for Sensei Dave.
A week ago we were talking about the real Karate Kid 40 years ago. And every time a new karate movie comes out, fine, there's a huge increase. So long story very short, I was kind of attracted to martial arts my whole life because of Karate Kid, and almost 20 years ago,
Ralph
Macchio, yeah. So about 20
Anthony,
years
you know
ago.
that name? You know that movie? Okay, good.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right. Checking
right.
the younger demographic. Sorry, David. Go ahead.
Thank you. It's like Cobra Kai on Netflix. That's not the
Oh,
real-
right. There was a
Yeah,
resurgence. Yeah.
Anyway, about 20 years ago, my son started karate, and I was the dad on the sideline. I said, I want to do that. And so I picked up from there and have been studying and have a 2nd degree black belt now, and have been teaching my whole career has been teaching, either music or karate, and I've been teaching for the last 5 years in Vernon, Connecticut with Grandmaster Fuller.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
And teaching has been your domain. I mean,
Absolutely.
your previous life, you were Dr. David Bellis at the Eastern Connecticut State University in the music department.
Correct.
Talk a little bit about what you did as a teacher, because it definitely, I mean, if I had to assume, I would say it would impact your ability to lead a class now as a martial arts instructor. But talk about your previous life as a professor of music at Eastern.
Yeah. So there are 2 parts to that answer, and I can go on and on and on. As a professor, we all talk so much. I won't do that. I got into music and conducting in particular. I remember as an undergrad, I saw my mentor's hands come out of the pit Her hands make no noise, but she was shaping all of this music with just this line.
And
I said,
making something.
I want to do that, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, my career is spent as the, only person in the orchestra that makes no noise, right? And so that translates directly into martial arts in the way I approach that. We have the origin of the martial art, this particular one, weapons were not allowed, and so people would choreograph these beautiful katas, these long forms, and you'd have imaginary attackers all around you. And so, that's a direct connection to shaping something with your hands and having it come to life without, full combat. You can be a martial artist without doing full combat. That's a lot of people would disagree with me, but that's okay.
I mean, martial just means hands, right?
Right.
Art means
exactly.
art. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's appropriate you're on State of the Art with Chris Beaudry, right? People might be like, "Oh, this is a sport."
Exactly,
No,
right?
it's a sport and an art. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
CranesWingMartialArts.com is the website. You, in addition to doing your classes, you have a lot of great community-focused either things for students, like drop your kids off and enjoy a night out as a parents' night out, while the kids enjoy a movie night and pizza with a little martial arts mixed in there. Introduction classes. You have something coming up for April break. Let's talk about this a little bit. Cranes Wing Martial Arts Karate School April break 5-day introduction program.
Yep.
So it's a 5-day, half day. Talk a little bit about this. $50 for 5 days. I mean, what a steal.
Yeah.
During April break.
Right, exactly. The 13th through the 17th. We have classes for pre-K all the way through 4th grade, and they're divided up into 1-hour increments based on their age. And it's an introduction to kicking, blocking, punching, and some very simple combinations that we do, or combinations.
Nice.
So.
So the schedule you offer for the different age groups, pre-K through 4th grade.
Yep.
9:15 to 10 would be the youngest, grades 1 and 2, 10:15 to 11:15, 3 to 4, grades 3 to 4, 11:30 to 12:30. So, but that's the schedule for all 5 days of spring break?
That's correct.
Great.
Yeah.
So parents, I mean, drop your kids off for $50.
Yeah.
They'll get a great taste of what happens at Cranes Wing Martial Arts, and then you can run some errands in the meantime here in Willimantic. So classes are limited to 10 students, though. So this is in testament to your small class model. And I think that is one of the major things that sets you apart from these larger dojos, right? Like, it can be overwhelming. I remember when I took karate, I was a black belt from Valaris, actually. At age 17, I got my black belt. But when I was very young, like 8, 9 years old, I remember the class sizes were 30 kids, right?
Yeah.
And, it was still great. It was Ken Caputo. Shout out to Ken. I think he's still doing the thing. And, he had, assistant instructors, usually 1 or 2, sometimes 2 in the larger classes. But, it was more of a large class, so you had to wait in line to do a lot of stuff.
Right.
And, that imparted certain lessons. There's benefits for the larger classes, but I think the smaller classes are really where, development is more thoroughly. You're able to have more time, one-on-one time, and really develop not only the skills of martial arts, but also the peripheral skills, which are what in your eyes? Peripheral skills that students can get out of this. Working as a group.
So many, teamwork, independence, focus, doing laundry and house cleaning at home. We always talk about that. Help at home.
But I mean, how? Literally, how do you encourage students? You say self-discipline, self-control.
Yep.
Practice these things in your daily life, right?
Yes, exactly. So, you had mentioned the classes of 30 plus with multiple instructors, which that's a wonderful model. It's great, but my dojo is small. And one of the benefits beyond that I see that a kid or a parent can take away is that, all of the kids can be actively involved all the time, not just running around and punching bags and whatnot, but in some kind of activity where they're all getting individualized attention in a small group setting.
Yeah.
And so what do they take away from that? We do a lot of teamwork, put the bag away, take the bag out, work together. We do a lot of again, I don't want to say games, but group exercises.
Yeah,
where
but
we're
games. I mean, you're
Yeah,
making
yeah,
this
yeah.
fun too.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah,
if it becomes
absolutely.
a chore, you're not going to
Oh, yeah.
retain, the students. Kids want to have fun, right?
Yeah. Don't be afraid. Your
Yeah.
4-year-old is not going to be put through a ringer. And,
Right. You're not going to
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a zombie come out
Yeah,
the other end. Yeah. So, all right, this is super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody listening, if you have a young child pre-K through grade 4, this is
Mm-hmm.
a great opportunity to, engage them both physically and mentally, because
Mm-hmm.
you're learning also, in addition to self-discipline, self-control, and respect, you're learning spatial awareness. You're learning the multiple intelligences, right? The emotional intelligence, the spatial intelligence, the ambidexterity,
Right.
hand-eye, foot, body coordination,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, there's so many peripheral benefits to martial arts.
If I can add to that or pick up on that,
Sure.
I think that's another benefit. People say, "Oh, your space is so small." It's not.
Yeah.
Because it's a small space, the kids know situational awareness. I say, "Okay, you're going to
right.
slap out." Well, don't hit your head on a wall. What's going on around you?
Yeah. Yeah, and
so-
and that, I mean, like the benefits of that in real life are so numerous, from avoiding a shopping cart in the mall to just
Exactly.
knowing, when a situation you need to be heightened
Yeah.
alert, and
Right.
we live in the world, so there are many a situation like that, and you're gonna fortify all of these different skills at Cranes Wing Martial Arts. Again, I want to say the website, craneswingmartialarts.com, and email at craneswingmartialarts@gmail.com. So right now you're at almost a year old. You've participated in a lot of the events around town, doing demonstrations and stuff. What lies ahead in the next year for Cranes Wing Martial Arts? Besides obviously growing the student
Yeah.
body and getting your message out there, programmatically, or what are you looking to develop?
One of my students and his children, they're a homeschool family, and so they're super dedicated. I mean, they're among the most dedicated. All my students are dedicated.
Sure.
Anyway, I see that the more I talk to the parent of these kids, the more I realize that is a community that needs more opportunities available that aren't necessarily in line with the school district, because they don't have the same opportunity not being enrolled in the school. Anyway, so one of the things that I'm launching this week, actually, coming up, is a homeschool program that'll be during the day. And, I've talked to several homeschool families, and they're like, "Oh, my God, I want to do that," And again, those are opportunities like that exist here in town. But when you have, 6 or 7 kids in a family, which, no cap, is that what they say? Is that an old? True story.
I've heard it.
Yeah. Like 6, 7, but
You probably hear a lot of that with your younger.
absolutely.
Karate
Yeah.
students, yeah.
Well, as a white belt, the first 2 combinations you learn are combination 6 and combination 7. So
Okay.
I just can't escape it. But anyway, with our smaller dojo, and we can accommodate that number of students, but without being totally overwhelming. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're not trying to compete with any of the other dojos around, because we all offer different programs. And, one of the things that I encourage people to do is go try all of them. Go try all of them, and then, see which one you like best.
Sure.
Because anyway, so I think we offer something different at Cranes Wing.
Again, your address is 752 Main Street, so you're a
Yeah.
sandwich kind of between Spiral Arts and
Yeah.
T-shirts with a purpose,
Yeah.
kind of by the Willimantic mural here on Main Street.
Yeah.
How long have you had this dream of opening your own dojo, and when did it finally, was it your retirement that was the point at which you were like, I'm going to dive all into this? I mean, you obviously, what degree black belt are you?
Second degree.
Your second degree. So how long has it taken you from your journey as a white belt all the way to present, and then
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it's at this point, it's more than the training; it's more about teaching.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking at. First of all, I love being in this part of the community because it's so vibrant and there are things happening all the time and it's really growing. But to answer the first part of your question, as soon as I figured out, state of Connecticut, thank you, that I was almost in line to retire, early retirement.
Okay.
I figured out how I could do that, and this is my my dream job is to do this
Amazing.
after, because all of that connection between conducting and karate. So.
Do you compete?
I did, going through the ranks up to black belt, but I don't anymore. That said, I'm encouraging my students to go to competitions, because watching other people do that, you can learn so much. How do you handle yourself in a ring when you've got all these other people that you're competing against?
So that leads me down the line of questioning. How do you accredit a studio, and then what organizations do you look to assess opportunities like competitions? And I remember when I was at Valaris, they had the Boston World Max was the competition, and I think I took second in my sparring category. I was nervous as hell, man. But I just went out there. I think I blacked out. I went through the movements, and I ended up winning a trophy at age 14 or something like that. So it was a really great experience, really empowering, really developed self-confidence and esteem and all that. But how do you get opportunities for your students, and what networks are out there?
Great question. There's the World Martial Arts Association. There's the Martial Arts College. The rest of that name isn't coming to me right now. But there are some big competitions around. One of the ones that I competed in myself is the Ocean State Grand Nationals in Providence. And, that's one of the biggies. And you find like the top 10 or 15 in the country, and that's where you go to compete.
Are they doing like full contact kind of stuff? Gloved but contact? Yeah.
Yeah, and there are multiple categories. You can do sparring, you can do forms, you can do weapons. I grew up, or my journey has not taken me into the sparring ring very often, but forms, weapons, and whatnot. So, I took the 7-foot-tall first place when I was a purple belt.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And, obviously with martial arts, we have the power, and then we contain the power, and that is usually our greeting, right? So you don't want to have to use the martial arts, but it's the type of thing that, once the skill set is there, I mean, you need some sort of maintenance. You need to maintain your physicality, but like it's kind of like riding a bike. I bet I could do my blocks and stuff, right?
Come on in anytime.
Yeah,
8-point blocking.
8-point blocks and everything like that. But it's a skill that's going to stay with you for life, and even if maybe the whole thing doesn't remain intact, you're gonna still have a lifetime of direct skills, but also peripheral skills, mindset. Controlling your thoughts is probably equally as important as controlling your physical movements, right? Yeah.
There's a saying, it's better to be a martial artist in a garden than a gardener at war. Or a warrior in a garden. And so, I'm really starting to realize that, it's coming to life in my own way I handle myself, the way I, handle students. I'm teaching one class at Eastern as an adjunct, and so...
In martial arts or in music?
No, in music.
In music, okay.
It's a conducting class. Anyway, I find myself having opened my own dojo and being my own instructor there. Now going back to the college class, I handle myself much differently. And every time I go into the class, I'm like, think white belt. Think it's their first time raising their hands.
Yeah.
Think of it as their first time being in class, and then going from there.
Wow.
It's much more effective.
Yeah.
So.
Amazing. Skills that can transgress just in the dojo. I mean, you can take these with you in life, and getting a student involved, I think, is one of the wisest things a parent can do. It doesn't have to necessarily be martial arts, but martial arts is here. We're talking with Sensei Dave, a.k.a. Dr. David Bellis of Cranes Wing Martial Arts at 752 Main Street, craneswingmartialarts.com, craneswingmartialarts@gmail.com. A brand new karate studio going on a year old this March. And we have some messages from our sponsors, but stick around because we'll talk a little bit more about things going on in and around town here. And then at Cranes Wing, you're listening to State of the Art with Chris Beaudry, 95.3 and 1400 AM WILI, good company. And we're back to State of the Art with Chris Beaudry on 95.3 FM and 1400 AM WILI, good company. And my guest today, Dr. David Bellis, a.k.a. Sensei Dave of Cranes Wing Martial Arts at 752 Main Street in Willimantic, Connecticut. craneswingmartialarts.com and craneswingmartialarts@gmail.com. Is there a phone number to the dojo as well? Or?
Yes, sir. 860-334-7160. And feel free to call or text.
Sensei Dave, take us through maybe one or two just class layouts, like what happens when students arrive on their first day of class, or even if they're enrolled for a couple weeks, what happens when they arrive to the dojo, from the beginning warm-up to your whatever you're working on for the lesson of the day to the end. What can people expect in a class at Crane's Wing Martial Arts?
It's a pretty traditional model. Where we start out with a lot of calisthenics, get your heart going, get your body tired, and then your training really begins. You know, your mind, you're checking everything at the door. It's like, oh my God, this is my 500th jumping jack or something. Not really. But yeah, so you do a warm-up, stretching, and then focus on the basics, punches, kicks, blocks, and then you go into the curriculum that's appropriate for each belt rank.
Okay. All right.
And we do combat as well on each other.
Do you do weapons training like bow
staff,
or anything like that?
We don't. That's because I don't practice bow staff, but we do offer eskrima sticks, which is a Filipino fighting tool.
Kind of looks like a sword, but it's a stick.
It's a stick.
Yeah.
Well, in the dojo, PVC pipe.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And then swords as well. And so, yeah.
What kind of skills, I mean, self-defense, but within that realm of self-defense skills that people can take with them, I mean, you've done classes on the Eastern campus for like women's self-defense and things like that. The practicality of this actually, can save a life. So,
absolutely.
Like, what kind of things are most important to train to save a life? Because you're not obviously going to square up in like a sparring situation. When it happens in the wild, in the real world, it's going to be a very unexpected thing. God forbid anybody have to deal with an attempted assault or anything like that. But you're giving people tools to deal with these things.
Yeah.
I mean, talk a little to that point.
Sure. The biggest way to avoid conflict, in my opinion, or from my vantage point, is to be aware of your situation, be aware of your surroundings, what's going on. When you go out to your car at night, get off your cell phone. Look around, check under your car. Put keys in your fingers, or get a kubotan, which is a metal poking tool. But you really study martial arts so you never have to use it.
Exactly.
So again, that goes back to being aware of your surroundings.
Again,
What happens? What am I?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I come in peace, but I can do war.
Right.
So, that's a big. Yeah, I think that's a big takeaway through studying. But then also, like when I did the self-defense class on Eastern in the fall, people come in, I'm going to kick and I'm going to punch. And, the last thing that I want people to take away is if you do this 2-hour seminar, that all of a sudden you're going to become Bruce Lee.
Right.
No.
Right.
Avoid conflict. And if as a last resort, you need to defend yourself, do it, and then run like hell.
Yeah, right.
Get out.
Yeah, I mean, you seek to, the kick to the groin, I mean, that's probably the most effective thing to buy you the time to get out safely, right?
Right.
So, in your 1 year in business at the dojo, 2-tier question again. I'm good at those, right?
Okay.
What is this highest level a student has achieved, and then what are some testimonials that your students have given you in the 1 year of business so far at Crane's Wing Martial Arts?
Okay, so the highest rank is Blue Stripe, which is it's pretty far along in your journey. And as far as testimonials, people have posted on Facebook. The one-on-one attention to the small class size is a real huge benefit that kind of sets my place apart from others. I've had students say that it really helps with mental focus. We come in the dojo, you ring the bell 3 times, and that's symbolic of leaving all the junk that you're dealing with at the door, focus for an hour, and then take with you from the dojo the center, the piece, piece as in P-E-A-C, not a piece of, I can punch this way, and then hopefully use that in your everyday life when you leave, leave in a better place than when you come here. And sorry, so go back to the question. Yes, some students have said that as a testimonial.
Wonderful. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm so thankful that my parents enrolled me in martial arts when I was a kid because, I was a stereotypical awkward kid. I didn't really fit in any, I was artistic, but also, it helped me channel physical, just energy into something positive. It helped me with community. It helped me, make a network of friends, that I eventually went, as I mentioned, to compete. This is just my anecdotal, personal testimonial to the martial arts as a positive, life-changing thing, And it doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your physical ability. It doesn't matter. I mean, with the rates that you're offering, it kind of doesn't matter your financial situation because this is a really great deal. A lot of the things, especially this $50 April break, 5 sessions for your young ones, pre-K through 4th grade. Are we missing much? I mean, can we hold that sign up so that folks can see? This is, if you're watching on YouTube, again, you can watch WILI select shows on WILI radio. Anthony actually just made a really great, are we ready to play that yet on air? Not yet. A great little ad for the WILI radio YouTube channel. But if you're watching on video right now, we're also going to be syndicated on Charter, or is it Charter Spectrum? I don't even know what it is nowadays, but we're going to be syndicated soon. So you're going to have video killing the radio star right now. But if you're watching on video, you can definitely use the QR codes. But if you're listening live or pre-taped, Cranes Wing Martial Arts again is the website.com and craneswingmartialarts@gmail.com. Any parting thoughts there, Sensei Dave, before we?
Let's see. Our motto as martial artists, we lead by example, doing the right thing whether we want to or not. So that's a big takeaway. Yeah. And
that's
namaste.
That's the ultimate character building motto, really. Yeah. I mean, just regardless of how you feel, you have to put one foot in front of the other, trust the process. Yeah. And there's no better way to, bolster your ability to confidently go throughout life than martial arts, honestly. So
absolutely. I'm a believer.
Obviously. Right? I mean, you wouldn't have dove in the deep end and started your own dojo if you weren't a true believer. So come and see what Sensei Dave believes in, and I bet he would make you a believer too. Do you have opportunities for folks that aren't necessarily children for try it kind of nights? Where
Check out the schedule. Come in. No appointment necessary. Try out a class or two and see if it's for you.
And you don't even necessarily need to try because you have like a seating area. So if people want to come in and just watch, they're able to do that too. Yeah. So whatever you're comfortable with, folks, give them a chance because I guarantee you will get many a benefit out of studying on Main Street in Willimantic at Cranes Wing Martial Arts. Sensei Dave, thank you so much for coming on the air today.
I really appreciate it.
And appreciate you and appreciate everything you're bringing to Main Street. CranesWingMartialArts.com, CranesWingMartialArts@gmail.com. Check them out, 752 Main Street, Willimantic. You have social media too. Plug those real quick. You have a Facebook.
Oh yes, follow us on Facebook. Go to the website. All the links are at the bottom.
Okay.
We have Facebook, Instagram, and I'm really developing a YouTube presence as well.
Wonderful. Sensei Dave, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll definitely be seeing more of you. Maybe at the Third Thursday Street Fest, you'll do some demonstrations and whatnot.
Get back to the community.
Blocktoberfest.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, big thanks to Sensei Dave, Dr. David Bellis, and Cranes Wing Martial Arts. I wanted to transition over to talk a little bit about the week ahead at the River Room because we have so many things going on. Again, a jam-packed week at the River Room. Winter Blues Fest is not over, folks. We had two great nights of Winter Blues Fest. Friday night was at the Elks Club. We had about 235 people come on for that, and I'm very happy to report now for the first time to the public that we netted about $6,000 in revenue for Willimantic's Third Thursday Street Fest 2026 season. So a very important evening raising critical funds to make all of the music, entertainment, and children's activities free in the season. We run about a $24,000 to $26,000 entertainment budget every year. So this actually puts about a quarter of our expenses, in the coffers, so to speak. So we're very thankful to everybody that came and had a great time Friday at the Elks Club. Saturday we had a great show with the Paul Gabriel Blues Band. Absolutely amazing. Paul was reminiscing about his last performance in Willimantic was 1975 at the Shaboo Inn on Cononville Road, and he was just so happy to be back. He brought a great 6-piece blues band. They brought the heat. That was sold out at the River Room. And tonight, night 3, our final night of Winter Blues 2026, culminates with a blues jam session and open mic at the River Room with sign-up starting at 6:30. So I believe this show is airing right at about the time that we're going to be started. But if you're hearing this and you're in the area, definitely come on by the River Room, because the Kingpins Blues Band are going to be opening up the Blues Jam and Open Mic tonight, our third night, part of the Winter Blues 2026 Willimantic Winter Blues Fest. So check us out. We'll be happy to have you. It's first come, first seated. We have a capacity of 65. So there's a chance that we may have to turn people away at the door, because this is a free, suggested donation of $10 to benefit, again, the nonprofit Willimantic Renaissance Inc. and the Willimantic Street Fest. But it's going to be a fun night. Kingpins, great local band. They've been around for decades. I'm happy to have been a part for about 15 years on and off with them, and I will be performing tonight. So stop on by. That's Tuesday, March 10th. On Friday, March 13th, we have our third, I think, installment of Latin Dance Social. So we're back again with another fun evening of come one, come all ages and abilities welcome. Our last Latin Dance Social, that is, was with the Bente 2 band. This time around on the 13th, we're going to have a DJ. And, of course, our dance instructor, Oswaldo Tirano, will be there on site to break down a couple moves for everybody, complimentary, a little taste of what you can expect with his regular dance classes, which are 6-week sessions at the River Room. We're currently in between sessions, but we plan to announce our next session very soon. But Oswaldo has been a staple in the town here. The gentleman knows every kind of style you can imagine, from Latin American dance, from salsa, bachata, merengue, tango. I mean, you name it. This guy is a world traveler of dance styles, and it's just so fun to be in the room with him, but then also be in the room with people from all walks, just getting down to some amazing claves and Latin American rhythms. So that's Latin Dance Night number 3 at the River Room, Friday, March 13th. Doors at I believe 6:30, and the dancing starts at 7:30, goes till about 10. And then we have a great show on Saturday, March 14th. I'm really looking forward to this one. One of my favorite saxophonists on the scene today. He's coming from New York City with his quartet. His name is Nick Biello. And we tried this last year, and it was an overwhelming success. We did a live music with Painter on stage. The great Ben Keller did this for our first iteration. Way back when, oh my God, it seems like it was a year ago, because it almost was. It was May of 2025. We had the Ben Keller painting experience with the Evan Wood Trio. This year, on Saturday, March 14th, it's Nick Biello with Amanda Roy. Amanda Roy is a fantastically talented painter from the Hartford area, and she is also the CEO, executive director of the Greater Hartford Arts Council. So excited to meet her, see the synergy between a jazz quartet at the highest New York City caliber, teaming up with a painter of the highest caliber from here in Connecticut. They've been working together for many years. Amanda paints abstract sort of paintings, and they will most definitely be interplaying between the music and the painting, and really kind of cool to go even deeper with what they're going to bring to the stage. Amanda actually makes her own inks for her paint out of different either fruits or things like that, and so going to be a real organic, you have to be there kind of event to experience it. It's going to be an experience. But that's the Nick Biello Quartet with Amanda Roy, painter. And I'm going to play a little bit of Nick Biello in just a second, but I want to go over the other events coming to the River Room. So on March 21st, we've teamed up with Grow Wyndham, which is a wonderful nonprofit here on Main Street in Willimantic, sharing the same entrance as Charter Oak Bank. And Grow Wyndham is a youth entrepreneur organization. Also, their work maintains and builds sustainable food systems, particularly the garden at Lauder Park, which is a really great garden. It's where they hold veggie stock every year and give away free vegetable seeds around the time that greenhouses are starting to, not know what to do with the excess plants, right? Because you get all these seedlings, and oh my God, the weather today, it's just hinting at garden season. But anyway, I digress. Grow Wyndham is going to be co-presenting the Soul Jars and Browns Road Band on March 21st. It is a fundraiser. We're calling it Funk for Funds to benefit Grow Wyndham. We love what they do. They're empowering youth leadership. Shout out to Vanya, who's been working very closely with me to coordinate this event. We're already at close to 20 tickets sold, so that's almost a third sold, and it's going to be a great night. 2 bands, $30. All the proceeds go to benefit Grow Wyndham, so check that out March 21st. March 27th, we're bringing one of the most talented vocalists local to the area here. She was born in Connecticut, moved down to Athens, Georgia, where she performed much of her career and lived much of her life, but she's back in Connecticut. She's a versatile singer, and I don't use that term lightly. She can go from Sarah Vaughan to Whitney Houston to Ella Fitzgerald, all styles, all genres, from jazz to soul, R&B, funk. This woman is a versatile vocalist in all senses of the word. Her name, Linda Ransom. She's bringing a quartet here. She's a first call for organizations like the Hartford Jazz Society. She plays their annual fundraising gala at the Artist Collective in Hartford. That's where I last saw her and said, I need to book this woman in Willimantic. She's so talented and so experienced and just commands the bandstand. She's a leader among leaders in terms of how she envisions the music and executes the music with her musicians. So if you want a great, really engaging show with a lot of your favorites and then some deep cuts, Linda Ransom would be it on Friday, March 27th. And then we're in April already. Can you believe that? Oh, my God. So April 4th, it's the day after my birthday, and I'm looking to celebrate with y'all on April 4th because Saturday, April 4th, we're bringing another dance social to the River Room, and this one had sold out previously. We throttled tickets down to 50 so that we can open up a proper dance floor for everyone. But the Kingpins Blues Band are returning for our second installment of the Blues Dance Social. So we do Latin dance socials, we do blues dance socials. These events are so much fun. The Blues Dance Social, April 4th with the Kingpins, that's going on sale probably today. So if it's Tuesday, March 10th, and you're hearing this show, head over to riverroomwillie.com and grab yourself some tickets because those will absolutely sell out within 2 weeks of being announced. April 11th, we welcome back to the River Room stage Natalie Cressman and Ian Facchini. They're on their way over from the West Coast for another East Coast tour. Natalie has performed with such musicians as Carlos Santana, Aaron Neville. She's performed with Trey Anastasio and his jam band and Fish. I mean, she's making the rounds. She's a trombonist and a vocalist. And her husband, Ian Facchini, is a Brazilian-born nylon string guitarist. I believe they met over in California at a Brazilian music camp. And their careers have just been developing, and they're on an upward trajectory year over year. I first saw them as they opened for Snarky Puppy at Jorgensen Auditorium about 2 years ago. And little did I know that a year later, I'd be getting a call from their manager asking if we had an available date at the River Room. And we actually plugged them in 2025 on the fly about a month prior to their show and their arrival to the East Coast. But boy, what a great decision, because the nuance and the breadth and scope of their musicianship is second to none. They're on the Ground Up music label, which was founded by Michael League, the leader of Snarky Puppy. And let me tell you that he has the utmost taste in music. And to be signed to his label is truly a testament to Natalie and Ian's product. So that's April 11th at the River Room, the second coming of Natalie and Ian, Natalie Cressman, Ian Facchini. April, oh geez, where are we now? Well, I think I'll call it there because we're a little short on time, and I did want to play a little Nick Biello, but if you want to see the full schedule, join us at riverroomwillie.com, Willie spelled WILLI.com. We have shows up there. We have all of our events up there, and then also a portal to sign up for our email list. Please opt into our email because that is the best way to be sure that you're in the know when massive artists are coming, like Jeff Pivar, who's actually was just announced on April. When is he coming? April 18th. Yeah, I think that's the guy. April 18th. So Jeff Pivar and Matt Ziner project. So Jeff has played with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. He's played with Ray Charles. This guy is literally one of the biggest names in music as a sideman and as a leader. He's bringing a quartet to the River Room. Upon announcing that show, we sold 25 tickets, like the minute we announced the show. So we're almost half sold out with with Jeff Pivar, Matt Ziner quartet. And shout out to David Lefty Foster for again making an immense contact connection for us at the River Room. So thanks, Lefty. And I'd like to play a little bit of Nick Biello's studio recording Bel Canto. This is the Nick Biello Quintet, I believe, so he'll be bringing a quartet to the River Room, but this is the addition of a trumpet. But I hope you enjoy this song by Nick Biello.